Thanks for staying with us here on TVC Breakfast. Political parties in the country will conduct primary elections to choose their candidates for elected positions in the 2023 general election. This is in order for them to meet up with a June the 3rd deadline stipulated by INEC for political parties to conduct their primaries for the governing All Progressives Congress. The conduct of its primary election will commence on Thursday, the 26th of May. With the Governorship and House of Representatives primary, that of the Senate and House of Assembly will hold on Friday to the 27th of May, while the party's special convention for the presidential primary is scheduled to hold on Sunday, the 29th of May through the 30th. With more than 25 presidential aspirants, all eyes on the APC to see who will emerge its presidential candidate and the manager or the manner through which that candidate will emerge. Joining me now to talk more about this is via Zoom from Kwara State is a grassroots politician, Rukayat Motunrayo Shitu. Thank you so much for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
All right, nice to talk to you. Now, APC has rescheduled its primaries ahead of, to May 29th precisely, few hours after that of the PDP. What do you make of this?
Come again, please.
What do you make of the rescheduling of the APC primaries?
Well, I think it's for them to be more prepared for the primaries ahead of the next year election. So we are glad they postponed the primary. So we are still waiting for the 27, 28, 29 primary. So I wish all of us the best of luck in the primaries that is coming up next week.
Well, why does it appear like the two dominant parties, the PDP and APC, are trying to, watch after themselves? They're trying to play the cat and mouse game by rescheduling the timetable of the primaries, looking at, okay, if PDP does this, we should be able to do this. Or if APC does this, then we should do our own this way. Why is it like they're watching themselves?
Well, a lot of people have been saying that, but one thing I know very well is that one day, INEC has already given a stipulated time for every political party to conduct their primaries. And I know aside from that next week, I know my own party, the Progressive Party, will not postpone the primary anymore. So that's it.
Well, and again, looking at the dead silence from your party as we get where they want to zone the party, some people say that the northern part of the country is in power as we speak. Then the next should be the south. Others are saying, fine, south, but where in the south? Maybe in the southeast. So what do you make of this? Should the power be zoned back to the south? Or should anyone who is capable to run the affairs of this country should emerge as the president of this country?
Yeah, I will back it up with the last statement that you made. Anyone who is capable enough. Now, it's not about zoning. We want somebody that will be able to revive the nation, that will be able to sustain what we have already on ground, and they will be able to change a lot of things in the country presently. So we need somebody, be it from the north, be it from the south, that will be capable enough to do this.
Well, are you not afraid, based on what former coordinator of the Arewa Political Forum of Nigeria, Hassan Farouk, actually warned that the party actually risk implosion if the over northern agenda to retain power in the north? Don't you think so? That some people might be really aggrieved, and then at the end of the day, it might affect your party if the emergence is actually from the north.
The leadership of the party will know what to do in order to curb any inadequacy that might happen in the 2023 election. I'm sure about that. They will conclude for whether it should be from the south, whether it should be from the north. I know they will reach an agreement that will be able to at least to progress the party more.
Well, you're not really looking at the complexion of the whole of the entirety of the politicking in the country, because the clamor seems to favor the south, saying that if you zone it to the south, then you'll be respecting say the federal character, you'll be respecting our ethnic diversity, you'll be respecting our tribal, sentiments and all that, because it's always good, because it's a Nigeria made up of different ethnic groups. So why is it that it has to be the North? You're not thinking it in that regard.
Yeah, that's my question. I said something. At this moment, we need somebody who is capable enough to do this work, irrespective of whatever, maybe from the North, from the zone. Yes, fine, North has been doing it so far, most of the election we've had so far. Whether the person that is capable enough to do this, to take this mandate, is from the North, let it go to the North. Or whether the person that will be capable enough to do this is in the South, let it go to the South. So that's my own stand regarding the 2020 presidential election.
Well, let me change the complexion of our conversation, because you're a woman, and I would like to have your thoughts, regarding these. There have been much advocacy for women, participation in, politics, but elective appointive positions. Now, with the 35% affirmative, action for, appointment of women into public offices, what do you make of this? Is it, you think we are in the process of achieving gender parity?
This is a good development, and when we want to achieve a good democracy in Nigeria, we need to involve both gender. So APC, I was at the summit in Abuja last week, and I can see the rate of women who get the form. And APC has done their best by reducing, by cutting out the nomination form. We have a lot of women with capacity, with intellect, that has everything to man any affair. So with this is just a good development for the democracy we are clamoring for in Nigeria.
Well, since APC declared free nomination forms for women, how many women do you think have actually come out to take opportunity of these free nomination forms?
From what I see in Abuja last week, we have more than 100 from the kind of the population I saw. So we are more than 100 for what I see there. So here in Kwara State, we are close to 30 or 35 here in Kwara State. So that's how everything is in every state. So bringing all of this together, we would know that there's a lot of people, a lot of female who get the nomination form and expression of interest form in Nigeria under the platform of the All Progressive Congress.
When you say we are, meaning that you're also gunning for an elective position, if I'm correct?
Yes.
Why do you pick interest in politics?
You said?
Why did you pick interest in politics? What's the motivation behind it?
Well, during my undergraduate days, I'm a student union leader who happens to be the first female Senate President for Congress of National Open University in Nigeria, which covers about 85 study centers. As well, here in Kwara State, I'm a media personnel that works for one of the leading online media platforms in Kwara State here. And ever since, I've been an advocate for good governance. And I know if we really want to bring the change we're talking about, it is for us to get involved and change the modality. So that was the reason I took up the mandate that I need to involve in politics for me to achieve what I want for my people and the entire state.
So what would you say, because looking at the fact that you're, the female gender, and then when we talk about elective positions, we know it's actually dominated by the male folks. But then we know that women vote, they are even more than the other gender who participate in voting in an election. But do you think women are willing to support women, looking at in activities, realities over time?
Yes, women are willing to support women. I think this is a continuous process. If we can achieve it all now, we will definitely achieve it later. They said a room is not built a day. So we are starting now, and definitely sooner or later we're going to achieve what we call a gender-friendly nation, gender-friendly politics in Nigeria. So if we continue, it might not be now, but I know soon we'll achieve what we are aiming for.
The question people are trying to find out is that normally, if you're talking about politics and then women in politics, it might be difficult for women looking at the intrigues in politics. For instance, when they're having their meetings, it could be in the midnight, where the women are supposed to be at home. They're not expected to be there because of the situation of things in the country. How do you think, don't you see this as a daunting task for a woman who wants to be responsible for, socially responsible for her country, the community, and at the same time wants to be responsible matrimonially?
Well, they say too much is given, much more is expected. As a woman who would want to involve in politics, she should know something like it is not an easy task. Yes, you have to be courageous enough, you have to be focused enough, you have to be determined enough. Meanwhile, we need to change something about the meeting. You said the meeting which normally comes off maybe late in the night. It is something we can still change. What are we using all of the day? What are we using it for? So if all of this can be changed, we will definitely achieve what we are aiming for. I mean, more women in politics. It can be changed. Essentially, we need to change the long hour in politics and at least facilitate something conducive for both gender. It is not easy, be it a man or a woman, it is not easy to be up there from morning to night, even till the midnight. It is not easy. We are human. Let's put aside this gender. You get me?
Yeah, right, correct.
So we need to change some narrative in politics. It is normal, it can be changed. I believe it can be changed if we really want to work towards that.
If it's a meeting, would you agree with me that if it's a meeting, you can actually fix a time that is quite comfortable, convenient for everyone who will participate? Even if anyone is not going there, you might achieve a quorum. But it's if it's a national issue, even if it's a state issue, where things happen the way they happen, and then there has to be spontaneous meeting. It might be difficult for women to be part of it. That's the concern, don't you think so?
No, I said something to whom much is given, much more is expected. Anybody who wants to involve in any task, we should be able to prepare ourselves enough that this is what I'm going to face here, so we are prepared.
Well, now let's look at countries like Rwanda, which they've got only women are actually eligible to vote for women only positions, and in Senegal they've actually achieved the 50-50 gender parity. Should we rather do the same in Nigeria, where we say
yes,
elective positions? This is the point I'm trying to ask. The elective positions that are women only women should be allowed to vote for them. Does that make sense to you, as it is done in Rwanda?
Yes. I think if we can be able to achieve this in Nigeria, seriously, we will get to where we are going. Because I believe no democracy, it needs to involve the both gender, man and a woman. Most of the voting is done by women in Nigeria. Do you know that? Hello?
Yeah, I'm actually there. So you're not worried about the fact that some women might be thinking it's a patriarchal system, and we believe the men would do much more. Looking at, we can say, when we talk about corruption, we may say women may be able to fight it. When it comes to, thinking about the economy, women are actually intelligent. But what about security, which is quite difficult to, very difficult to be fought? Do we expect women to do any better?
Yes, very well. Very well. What a man can do, a woman can do. What a woman can do, a man can do. Very well. I know that, and I believe that.
Right, makes sense. Thank you very kindly. Kwara State, speaking to us via Zoom from Kwara State, has been a grassroots politician, Rukat Muturayo Shitu. Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me this morning.